Right then, mate. You're going to fire us off with your illustrious dream team.
So, well, my dream team. You've my
You've got fucking
genius,
Haaland up front, haven't you?
my genius.
I mean, literally, it's just a one-man team, isn't it? Just bang Haaland up front, and
I mean, turns out, so the fantasy team, I thought you changed your team every week because it said when I signed up something
I
like
think you get so many subs, don't you?
but you can only pick each player. It said 4 times, I think. So I thought, I'll have to change my team every week. To change a player, it costs points, and I don't have many to start with, so I didn't change anything. So it's
Do you get one free sub a week?
You get one free sub, but one free transfer, but that was Gallagher.
Shit. So you had to get rid of a player that had actually left the Premier League.
Yeah, he was just sat in midfield as red. So nice. I had to get rid of him.
So did you get somebody else in for him?
Yes, we do, but I only had the same value of money left, obviously, for him, which wasn't a great deal.
What did you put in?
Ward-Prowse, who didn't play.
Yes. Subbing a player who doesn't play. Fantastic management.
But no, this week's gone well. This week's gone very well.
Just one change?
Yeah, there's just one change. So Martinez in goal got a point. He lost, and conceded goals.
How did he get a point? Lost 2-0 to Arsenal.
Sympathy? I don't have any other reason how he can
get an appearance. Well, we sort of tried to say last week that he got 3 points for a clean sheet, 3 points for an appearance. So does he lose a point for every goal he concedes?
Possibly, yeah. Maybe so.
3 for an appearance, and he's conceded 2, so he's got 1.
Yeah, well, you'd think that, but then this change. Oh, yeah, because this could do. Yeah, you could be right here. So then the back 3 though. Ben White, 6 points, clean sheet and a win.
Clean sheet and a win. Yeah.
Saliba, 6 points, clean sheet and a win. It's just,
yeah.
I'm doing amazingly well.
Arsenal. I didn't have Arsenal down for a clean sheet.
No, I didn't. To be fair, Lewis Dunk got 2 points for beating
Brighton. Man United.
We'll come back to that soon. I've got so much I want to say on that game. Joelinton got a point for clotheslining a goalkeeper.
I'd say he should have been definitely no longer in that game. When I saw it, I was like, if Rob still got him in his team, he's just got very, very lucky. Because for some reason, that's not a red card.
But I don't get how VAR doesn't look at it. They just go, yeah, that's fine.
I don't know if VAR did or didn't look at it because I just presumed it was a red card and carried on watching the game.
No,
it was only later on when I realised he was still on the pitch. I was like, what's going on here?
But he then sent off the Bournemouth coach instead of producing a red card. So I'm thinking,
did you send 2 coaches off? Did you send one off each side?
I don't know, but I was so confused. I saw him brandish a red card and I thought, Joelinton must have gone for a drink and he's then gone to send him off. No, it was Bournemouth coach.
I only saw the coaches get sent off when I watched the rerun of the highlights afterwards because I thought, I don't know what's happened here. So I watched it back to try and figure out why Joelinton was still on the pitch. And at least 1 or 2 coaches got sent off.
And you still don't know why Joelinton's on the pitch?
Not a clue. I mean, how is that not a red card?
Oh, it's a red card in rugby, that.
I'd love to hear the audio. It is in rugby. You're getting a sin bin or a ban for that, aren't you? It's a high tackle.
Dangerous.
I mean, no, we've gone from we want a contact sport to we don't want all these rolling about, but there's a line, and it's a clothesline around the neck. I mean, fucking hell, ref. Where have you gone?
It's worse than the Chiellini one against Saka in the Euro final 2021, because that to me is a red card when he grabs you by the scruff at neck.
Yeah. But he pulls his shirt at least there. I mean, there's less physical injury when you pull somebody's shirt. When you actually clothesline somebody, I mean, if you do that downtown on Saturday night, you're getting arrested for that.
I mean, with that sort of movie,
did he get a yellow?
Yeah, he got a yellow.
So it's not like they haven't seen it then. He's not,
he's seen it and gone clothesline, yeah, yellow card. It's mind-blowing. Utterly mind-blowing.
I'd love to hear the audio on it.
Yeah, between the referee and VAR.
Oh, yeah, to see because obviously the referee can't have seen it properly. Otherwise, he's sent him off. So the VAR's come in and said something to him, But what's he said? I can't even begin to imagine.
Good clothesline, let him off with it.
Maybe he's a WWE fan. Kid hell. Yeah, that were a good one.
Back to the rest of back to our midfield. Paquetá got 3 points for West Ham.
He played well as well, actually. His few little runs from midfield, they were good.
Grealish didn't play, so that's a thing. I didn't have much money left.
You know something? There was some stats about him the other day. He's only got something like 2 goals and 2 assists more than Anthony since Anthony signed for Man United.
And Anthony gets slated rightly for being terrible.
I mean, Anthony is horrendous, don't get me wrong, but Grealish was £20 million more, and his numbers are nearly as bad.
He was another one of them. He was £100 million because he's English, let's be honest. It's English tax on him. And Man City were splashing money, and they didn't want Man United to pick him up, or Liverpool or Arsenal, so they just went, here's 100 million, we'll take him, it don't matter. If you don't play.
Oh, yeah, Villa were laughing. I mean, Villa basically built a Champions League team off the money of Jack Grealish, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've got into Champions League this season by building a squad from the 100 million that they got for Jack Grealish.
And Grealish has fallen into the same category as Calvin Phillips. It doesn't matter if he doesn't play. If he can come on occasionally and just do bits if they need him to. But other than that, it's irrelevant to them. It doesn't matter because they've got that many players. Or they've got that many good players, should I say. And the last man in midfield, Bruno Guimaraes, got 2 points for Newcastle.
Newcastle won. Oh, no, Newcastle drew.
No, they drew 1-1.
So he gets a point off him for conceding a goal. And he gets 3 points, we think, for turning up.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's all it can be.
What I can't understand is, do you get more points for winning? And if you do, I don't understand how that works.
Well, I'm about to get very confused when I go to my strikers. So, Gakpo did play.
Yeah, only came on late, though, didn't he?
But Liverpool won. Last week he came on late and got nothing. This week he came on late and got a point.
Maybe he came on earlier than late, though. Did he come on like...
He got a point.
Yeah. So there... Oh, no, that's not his subs. Oh, no, that's not his subs. There and there, aren't they? Yeah, so he came on earlier this time, by the looks of it.
But yeah, so he got me a point. Then Ollie Watkins got 2 points.
Yeah, he came on somewhere around the 70th minute, 72 minutes. So I think last week he came on after 80. So he must not have qualified. So yeah, he came on 72 minutes this week. So that must have qualified him for a point.
More sympathy points. I like it. Watkins got 2.
Oh, he got 3 up top now. What's going on here? We only had 2 last time, didn't we?
But we've gone 3-4-3. We can't. Although
defense definitely got play less. I'm going to say I did say to you play less defenders, but your defenders are scoring a lot of your points. But you've got less chance of losing points, haven't you, when you've got less defenders?
But then, with a piece of managerial genius from me, Erling Haaland was not only captain. I played my triple captain card.
Oh, yes.
So Erling Haaland gets a grand
on the day, gets a hat trick.
51 points out of the team's 75.
How many points did he get last week? About 10.
He got 11 last week, I think.
Maybe you only got about 15 all told, didn't you?
No, 30-ish, something like that.
Oh.
But this week we got 75 because Haaland is a genius. And 2 episodes ago, I posed the question, has he been found out? That looks well.
Yeah. What we need to start doing is slagging players off that we want to do well.
Yes.
So this week, I'm going to slag off every Man United player. And then when we play Liverpool next week, we'll win 5-0.
Yes.
So where do you rank there then for 70-odd points? There are loads of people going to highlight Haaland, aren't they?
Yeah, so the highest of the league was 154. Average was 69. So I was above average. I was better than some.
Story of your life.
Yeah, I wasn't the worst there is, but I was nowhere near the best.
154? Did he pick every player that scored?
Literally. So Madueke got 20. Salah got 10, Smith Rowe got 10, Son got 16, Haaland got 51, Welbeck 9, Vicario 6, Romero got 14 points. He's one of the worst defenders I've ever seen. He spends
Why did he score?
Oh, I don't know, but I don't like him.
Oh, he did, yeah. Romero scored.
So yeah, the fantasy team went well this week. I'm happy with this week's.
So you're flying then, mate. You're flying. You're above mid-table based on that.
Super Six not as good this week.
So I don't even know game. I can't see it, so I don't even know what Super Six games are.
Yeah, so this is all going to come as a shock to you every week with what I've done.
Yeah, I don't see any of this. This is all brand new to me, and it's not good when you do well neither. Getting 70 odd points doesn't really do a lot for me. I want you to get 10 points so I can spend an hour taking piss out of you.
So, first game on Super 6 was Man City Ipswich.
I had 5-0 City.
I had 3-0. It was 4-1.
4-1. Yeah, we got a win.
I got 2 points. It was going all right to start with. Second game, Spurs Everton.
I had 3-1 Spurs, I think.
I had 2-0. It was 4-0. So I got the two first results right. Well, the first winners.
We got the winners right, yeah, definitely. I did as well.
Palace West Ham was the third game. I put 1-1 and it ended up 2-0 West Ham. Game
I had Palace for a win, 1-0.
Game 4, was Villa Arsenal. I
didn't see Arsenal getting a 0.
I had 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I think I thought it'd be 2-2, but I didn't see Arsenal getting a clean sheet.
They shouldn't have had a clean sheet, let's be honest. There's no way that
Villa, save.
Yeah.
That save is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's how he saves that, I don't know.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if Ramsdale ever thought he was playing for Arsenal again, then he's not.
No, absolutely not. He's
not
not
unless
getting
Ray gets injured. Because that save is. I mean, there was one last week, weren't there? First game of the season, whose save was that one?
Yeah, I can't think. Could have been Martinez for Villa, but I can't remember now. I genuinely can't remember.
Yes,
no, it was in the West Ham game. Then the fifth game was Bournemouth Newcastle. I put 2-0 Newcastle. But
I think I went for Newcastle win.
Newcastle were bad. They just.
I mean, they should have lost, shouldn't they? Let's be honest. They should have only had 10 men.
We'll get on to should they have lost in a minute. And then the final game, Liverpool Brentford. I keep having this habit of putting both teams to score, and Brentford were never ever going to score. I had 3-1.
No.
I don't know why I had 3-1.
Battered by Liverpool, didn't they? I mean, I didn't watch the full game. I was watching like extended highlights, and it was just like a training session for Liverpool. And I think there's one highlight of Brentford having an attack, and that's it. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this has just been an onslaught, hasn't it?
I was doing bits after Grand Prix and typing stuff up, and so I weren't really fully paying attention. But every time I was looking at it, like, oh, Liverpool got ball, Liverpool got attacked, Liverpool a bit crossbar.
I think Brentford had one decent chance that it showed me, and that was it, basically. Liverpool just ran riot on them.
Yeah. So in the end, we got a grand total of 8 points, which is it's not great, but it's
what did you get last week?
16.
Oh.
I mean, if you compare it like on like, I did half as well as last week. But
what do you need to get do you need to get every result and every score?
Yes, you need to get all 30 points. No, 30 points. Yeah, Super 6, 5 points.
And you get what, 1 million?
Yes, and I was not close.
You get 20 quid.
One guy was close. Apparently, we were saying game yesterday, so he needed the 3-0 to win it. They crossbar twice, didn't they?
That woman at back end of last season, was it? Oh, was it the Euros? She needed a one result in the Euros for £1 million, and it went down to the wire, and she needed 2-1, and it finished 1-1, and then went to penalties. And she'd literally predicted 8 scores for £1 million.
Painfully unfortunate.
Yeah, well, you weren't that close, mate, so there's no pain in that for you.
No. The pain was just watching me predict things again.
But before we take the piss out of people who lost this weekend, hey, Man United, let's just take the piss out of Chelsea first. Because even though they won, we go back to the start of the week. How much did they pay for Felix again?
60 million, 50, 60 million.
50 odd million euros. And they already paid 11 million euros for him last season to loan him.
And decided it was crap, bearing in mind.
And decided not to take up the option to buy him.
Yes.
But have decided to take up the option to buy him now because they were scared of having not enough players in the squad.
It was looking like that they might not meet the quota of players this week in signings. I think they were behind.
Yeah.
They've not signed anybody.
You've got to think they can't sign nobody now till January, can they?
Yeah, so they might run out of players by, 2040.
So how much did Gallagher go for in the end? Because did he go for 30 odd million?
Do you know, in all of it, that's something I missed. I was too busy laughing of Chelsea being another signing. I didn't see the value that he went for, if I'm completely honest, because I was too busy being just...
So there's only been 2 players, haven't there? So Gallagher's gone there and Felix has come to Chelsea. There's not been another one, has there?
Not that I know of, unless they've got rid of one or the kids or something, because they've got players everywhere all over the world.
And then obviously Lukaku's gone. Again, somebody's paying money for Lukaku again. His career, so he's had 16 million euros spent on him in loan fees. That's more than he's worth in his entire career. 16 million value in him. His original transfer to Chelsea was 15 million euros, then 35 million, 84 million, 74 million, and 113 million euros are his transfer fees, and 16 million on loans. I mean, I can't even do that math, but that's 330 million euros spent on Lukaku
plus
for a man that can't control football.
Plus then the bit yesterday, 30 odd million that he's gone to Napoli. Well, 20 odd plus add-ons, which will go up to 30 odd million for this time.
That's 35 possible. Oh, Jesus, yeah. So I mean, he's had more money spent on him than most Premier League clubs have spent in the entirety.
He's pushing towards £500 million that man's had spent on him, which is just
Lukaku.
Crazy.
Man, people always falling over each other to get to him as well.
I don't get why he can't run. His first touch is like a donkey.
It's horrendous.
Occasionally he pulls out a decent finish, but most of the time he's
I think it's just fluke. When he pulls out, I think he's trying to cross it and it goes in top corner. I don't think he does it on purpose. He doesn't. There's no way that he buries them in top corner on purpose. He's looking for a pass and skews it in top bins. It does. I mean, who's paying all that money for him? Jesus Christ.
But at least Chelsea, I bet they've lost 50 odd million on him because they bought him for £19. They bought him for 90, sold him for 25 to 35, depending on add-ons. They've just lost another 50.
They've managed to sell him. I mean, they've managed to sell a player with 3 left legs and get money for him, haven't they? Absolutely, Cowboys. Yeah, he's a legend, him, isn't he? I mean, once again, we said it the other week. His agent he's a class act. His agent.
There is some good.
I mean, how much money's he made? His agent off for all this lot.
I mean, I don't know what.
Every summer he just goes like that. Lukaku, let's get him another club. I mean, he must have played for. There's been what 6-7 transfer fees. He must have played for 10 clubs.
Well, I can give you Man United, Everton, Chelsea, Inter Milan. Did he go to AC Milan as well?
West Brom.
Napoli, West Brom.
Roma. Did he go to Roma?
To Roma. So we've gone through 9 clubs there. I don't get it. I really don't get what the clamour is for him every time he's available that somebody thinks they've got to try and sign him.
And people say, "Oh, it guarantees you goals." And I'm like, well, it doesn't. His numbers aren't that good when you're spending 100 odd million euros on a striker. His numbers should be good.
Oh, absolutely.
His numbers should be unbelievably good.
What did Haaland cost City? 50 million?
Half that, yeah.
Exactly. And Chelsea spent 113 million euros on a player that's basically not been in London for the last 2 years. He's been in Italy.
Just unbelievable.
What have he got at?
That's typical Chelsea, though, isn't it? Although they did play well yesterday. I'll say that. 6-2, but it could have quite easily been 6-2 either way. It was literally. I mean, they had 2 disallowed Wolves, did they? Yeah, 2 disallowed. But it was just like we shoot, you shoot. There's no midfield involved in this game at all. there's 6 attackers on both sides and 4 defenders, and it's just a case of when you get the ball, they just run at them. It's like watching like under 12, when everyone just follows ball. And you're watching kids play, and they're just like, there's no structure. They're just running everywhere. There's just midfielders, legs flying, and people shooting from everywhere, and it balls in net. I mean, there must have been, I don't know if there were 2 or 3 goals disallowed. Oh, it was just unbelievable. I mean, at any point, you'd have said both teams could have won 6-2. Even at like 5-3 or 5, when it went nearly to 5-3 or 6-3, Wolves could have still come back and got a point out of that because it was just a free-for-all. So they can't play like that every week, Chelsea. They'll get battered by somebody. They come up against a Liverpool or a City and play like that, they'll be double figures. Literally be a car. But yeah,
if Chelsea start conceding a lot, though, they do have plenty of goalkeepers they can replace to see which ones.
So they're going to have to start playing more. Yeah, they were good. I mean, a fantastic game to watch. It was just like constantly goal, disallowed goal, 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 disallowed goal, fighting in the middle of the pitch. Every time Chelsea scored, all Wolves players start fighting him because he was celebrating. You're not allowed to celebrate now, supposedly. And it's just like, so then when Wolves scored, he went and celebrated at Chelsea end. So then they all squared up again, and it was like, Jesus. I mean, there were a lot of added time in the first half. It went on for about 9 minutes first half. For all stoppages they'd had for VAR called and trouble with players fighting each other because you can't celebrate your goals. It were quite some game.
That's because Pedro Neto scored, didn't he? So he'll have upset the Wolves fans because he was there quite a long time and then celebrated scoring against them.
No, Neto didn't score. He assisted.
Did he assist, right?
Yeah. Did he assist? Yeah, he assisted Felix near the end. But it was him, Madueke, who was upset him. He's apologising. I don't know what he's apologising for. He's celebrating in front of Wolves fans. I mean, he's hardly gone into Wolves fans. Although he did go into the Chelsea fans, and I don't know if he got booked for it.
Probably will have done, because that's the yellow card. But the weird thing is, though, that's the same offence as Joelinton clotheslining a goalkeeper gets you the same outcome.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't even get booked for it.
Oh,
he went off at boardings, so they missed that. But yeah, I don't know what we were apologising for, to be fair. He was, I mean, he were good. And he is English, supposedly.
Madueke is, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, played well. Good goal.
We'll just have another central midfielder in the squad.
Yeah, well, yeah. Unless you can play left back, could do a couple of them. So yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea they must have got some we can have.
Chelsea have got some left back, surely. They're getting rid of them, aren't they?
Well, yeah, because you want Ben Chilwell might go to Man United, might you? Because you don't have a left back either.
We have a left back who can only get fit for England. Can't get fit for Man United. And then Harry Amass, who played all pre-season. I don't know where he's gone.
Chelsea.
I don't know if United are aware that he's no longer turning up, but he was ready to start the season as our left back, and suddenly now he's no longer to be seen. So I don't know what injury he's picked up, or I don't know. We've just lost him, literally. So yeah, we're playing with no left back. I mean, we're playing with no left back and no centre half again, aren't we? Because they're not fit to play yet. So
I don't
still
get
playing
why
with Harry Maguire. I don't get that. I mean, the other guy's come in and he's played nearly 2 full games. De Ligt's come in and he's playing like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So we're still playing Harry Maguire, who still can't get around a football pitch. I mean, that goal of theirs, the first one, they just lets run across box. I mean, what is he doing? It's just clear it.
I have bigger concerns.
You can't leave a ball to go across your box.
I have bigger concerns about the second goal, if I'm honest. They have 3 players at the back post. You have none.
None.
Defensively, that's an issue.
I mean, I don't know where Anthony had gone.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the whole game. To be fair, I thought we played quite well, and I thought we were well in the game, considering that we usually lose to Brighton. We have a habit of losing to Brighton. I thought we were doing well. Obviously, Rashford's goal gets disallowed. He is offside, and then I mean, what's Garnacho? I don't even know what to start with. Garnacho. What's he doing, Zirkzee? Why is he going in? Do you remember Ronaldo doing it with Nani?
Yes.
Ronaldo lobbed the keeper, and Nani ran in from a yard and tapped it in. I thought Ronaldo was going to murder him. I mean, why is he getting involved in that? It's like he slides as well. If he stands up, the ball goes in the net. It's the fact that he slides, but I'm not sure what he's thinking of sliding for. There's nothing. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Because at no point is he allowed to touch the ball. Even if the ball isn't going in, he still can't put it in because he's offside. So why even get involved?
I don't know. I mean, it's stupid from him, but I don't know what he's doing, but I do think, is the rule a bit daft? Yes, I get by the letter of the law. He's in an offside
I did
position,
think that.
but the
Because
ball
at no point does
going
he's in the net. Yeah, I did think that at the time.
There's no defender getting in the way. He's not obstructed anybody. He's not interfered with play in that sense, because if his leg isn't there, the ball's in the net anyway.
Yeah, so I did think that at the time. I thought there's something there that says, what did his touch achieve?
Yeah, and I get by the letter below, he stood in an offside position and he's touched the ball. But if you look at it from a common sense point of view, him touching the ball doesn't have an outcome, a change of outcome of what's happening. It's a goal regardless.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yes,
No, there's some. But why is he just
utter moron for getting involved in that?
Yeah.
I mean, talk about yes, you scored against Fulham and you're greedy to get another goal, so greedy that you will cost your team potentially a game just to get yourself on a score sheet.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's what, 71, 72 minutes, and like I said, I'm not saying we were in control, but we were comfortable in the game. We were well in the game. 2-1, we've got every chance of going on and winning it. And it's just it's just a car crash, that, isn't it? I mean, sort of thing you see in like other leagues and think, oh god, but yeah, I just don't get it at all.
It's like you said earlier, it's going back to Sunday league. It's kids running after the ball all the time. Oh, I can get a goal quick, and he just runs in and
thinking
slides.
about what he's doing. Like I say, why does he slide on his knees a yard from goal? What is his thinking process there? What he thinks he's going to achieve by doing it?
I don't know, but I know what he has achieved in the end.
That's cost us 3 points, isn't it? I mean, it's not his fault that we can't defend, but at the same time, it's a totally different game when you got 2-1 up, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Because then you can start to wind the game down a little bit and just put your foot on ball and take your time. Whereas in the end, it just
put an extra. It stuck an extra midfielder or defender on, wouldn't it? But yeah, it's no. I mean, like I said, we're not even playing anywhere near the sort of team I thought would start the season with. I mean, Diallo started, who didn't really feature much last year. Rashford's looking no better than he did last year. We're still only playing one of the new centre halves, or one centre half, not playing either of the new ones because one's injured and one's not fit. We've got no left back. We haven't signed a midfielder, so at the minute we're still way off where we need to be, quality-wise.
He's now decided that Mason Mount gets to start every game.
I don't know why Mason Mount went off. I didn't see the reason for him to go off.
No.
He went off at half time, didn't he?
That's the wrong question there. You don't know why Mason Mount was on to start with.
Oh, no, I don't know why he's on. I mean, he persists in playing him. He likes him, doesn't he? And I commented on something on social media in the week because somebody put a predicted lineup on and Mason Mount wasn't in it. And I'm like, if Mason Mount's fit, Mason Mount will play. He's put his name to him. He spent 50 million quid on him and he likes him. So he'll play, and he did. He started and played. But I don't know why he went off at half time.
Because he's crap.
I don't know what. It wouldn't have changed him at half time for that, though, would he?
Well, I would. I'd have changed him after 5 minutes, to be honest, because he's non-existent. It's not as if he's doing a lot wrong, because he's just not doing anything.
It was forced change, according to reports. It doesn't say why, though. In midfield at half time, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't say. Just says it was forced to change him.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been forced to change him as well, because I wouldn't have had him on in first place, but there we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we've got a number of starting lineup. Almost like I said, I thought Rashford were going to come back something like what we'd seen before, but it don't look anywhere near.
No,
and we don't play a striker these days. We've gone into this.
Haaland's still injured, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but I mean, surely Zeke can play if he's, he went to Euros, so he's not injured. He didn't really play in Euros, so he's not tired. So I know he's a new player, but you've got to be putting people in, haven't we?
Your club has a thing about players that went to the Euros that are now all of a sudden not fit to play for you.
That's crazy. And I mean, De Ligt didn't play much in Euros, so why is he not fit to start season? It's not like he would.
Unless he was injured going to the Euros.
No, he was there, weren't he? He played. He did play in the Euros.
But did he pick up a knock during the tournament kind of thing, and there was just something that's not right?
I don't know.
But Luke Shaw's vanished again, hasn't he? Completely.
Oh yeah, he got injured. He's done his. He's at his leg again, hasn't he? So he's out. He's out for another couple of weeks.
It's just
Haaland's still 4 weeks from fit. I mean, the other lad, the centre half, he's out till near Christmas, isn't he? So by the time he's back fit, it'll be Christmas. So he's got to get the lit playing. He's got to get Luke Shaw back. We've got to get a striker on the pitch somehow. And yeah, I say it's concerned that Diallo. I mean, not that I don't rate Diallo. I think he's playing well, but it's concerned that Diallo's now become possibly our best winger. And 6 months ago, he weren't even in our squad.
But the thing is, though, his competition in that position is non-existent because his competition is Anthony. And
Anthony. Well, Rashford on the other side, you've got Rashford, who's lost his form altogether. Sancho, who just obviously he's played all pre-season, and now we're not using him, so he's obviously no plans on keeping him, even though he said he did. Anthony is a waste of space. I mean, he come on Saturday, did nothing. So you've pretty much got Diallo, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got your options are
hugely
solid.
concerning. I mean, you've got over 200 million quid for wingers there, and only one of them that's any use to you is Diallo.
I'm going to say you came through youth system, so you've spent all that money and actually play.
Garnacho's the other one who should be starting on the other side. He's got to drop. He's got to just ditch Rashford now.
Absolutely, yeah. He should have started.
Times have gone. He's had all summer to come back, and he's come back no better. So
no, but it's just he seems to be putting the faith all in the wrong players. When I look at your manager at the minute, and he's signed some what I think are very good players in your likes of Delay and
that Mazraoui looks good.
That's it.
Mazraoui looks a good player.
But I just think
again, these are players that have come in under the new sort of regime, haven't they? Who've hopefully had a proper analysis done on, not just being bought because the players we bought beforehand haven't. There's no football club in the land that should be paying £70 million for Anthony.
No, absolutely not.
We overpaid for Sancho. We overpaid for Anthony. So, I mean, we overpaid for Haaland, really. When you think about how young he is now, inexperienced, he's now little he'd actually achieved. I mean, I do rate him and I like him as a footballer, but he hadn't done anything for Atalanta before he come to us. He were nobody, really. So why did we pay all that money for him?
I don't know. And the problem United have got this season, again, is you're looking at the teams around them. Man City look unbelievable. Arsenal look
solid. Arsenal is rock solid.
They just look efficient. Yeah, but it looks solidly
they're just solid, aren't they?
Yeah, it just looks it works.
Yeah.
Liverpool look very much the same.
They've built a squad, though, haven't they? And with all due respect to Arsenal, this is not just mourning for Man United. They get to play, whether it's the training methods or what, every week they get to play almost their strongest side. You look at their centre-half partnership, they play together every week. Saka always plays. Martinelli's always fit. There's always got 9 or 10 of their first players fit. The keeper's always fit. The fullbacks, Ben White always plays. They might swap 1 or 2 every now and again. Trossard's come in recently instead of Martinelli, but that's not an injury. That's just a form thing. They're putting their first team out every week. I mean, we're just putting out a team of mishmash. We've got left backs playing at right back. We've got centre halves that shouldn't be at club playing for. I mean, Johnny Evans is bound to play at some point soon again, isn't he? I mean, can you imagine Johnny Evans going to Arsenal and playing right now? It wouldn't happen, would it?
No, he's not getting anywhere near that squad.
He's not getting into it, is he? So that's where our fallings are. We just can't get our best 11 out for 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks at a time, and see then where we can get to. I don't know why it's that, but it is.
But then there's another question that falls within that: does your manager actually know what his best 11 is? Because I don't think he does.
I don't think anyone does, because how could you? The team you'd pick on paper is not the team you'd, having watched after 90 minutes, think that's what you'd pick. Because you'd go down that team and you put Rashford in, you put X, Y, and Z in. But if you watched them for 90 minutes, you wouldn't put them anywhere near a team.
True. Very.
Yeah. I mean, we are going to be relying on young kids this season because Garnacho and Diallo are kids. Haaland's a kid. Xerxes is still a kid. they're going to be, other than Fernandes, you've sort of your 4 of your front 5 because the other experienced ones are no good.
I don't have an issue with that though, as long as you can keep the confidence high. The problem is if you've got a very young team like that, is if you start to have a run of really bad results and you don't
Which we
have
do.
you don't have the senior players around them to keep them sort of the morale up, it can soon get quite downheart. I think about it, and it could soon put into a bad season if you're not careful. But
Man
if you
United
can
have the ability to go and lose 2 or 3 in a row in a week, and your season falls apart, doesn't it? I mean, you're only looking at it now. We started nicely against Fulham, a nice win. We should have beat Brighton, or we should have gone 2-1 up at least, so in a position to beat them on 6 points. We could lose to Liverpool at weekend and have 3 points out of 9. And suddenly it's a totally different start to the season, isn't it?
Because I think looking at it, Liverpool will run rings around you if you're not careful. If you play like you did at times against Brighton.
Well, the problem is he's going to start the same. He's going to start with no striker again against Liverpool. Because Haaland's not going to be fit, and Xerxes obviously doesn't think he can start. So we're going to start with that same setup again, which means we're just toothless up front.
Oh, absolutely. And you've got clubs like Man City scoring 4 at weekend. Granted,
we're not getting anywhere near Man City or Arsenal. Liverpool, I don't know at the minute. We'll see how they go, but they look strong now. They look like the change of manager is not going to affect them at all. So we'll see. Obviously, it's the same again. When they lose a couple, how do they go? Chelsea are very much like us, I think. I think they'll be good 1 week, and they'll be bad a week, and then they'll be good for 2 weeks, and they'll be bad for 2 weeks.
Aston, I know Aston Villa lost at the weekend, but I thought they played really well. I thought they gave Arsenal a really good game, and actually probably deserved something out of that game.
They played well last season against them twice, though, didn't they?
Well, they
beat them both times last season.
Yeah, they did.
Both times, yeah. So Villa are a strong side. The problem will come for Villa is when they start playing midweek, because they haven't got. I mean, you look at their team and they've got 1 or 2 players on the bench, but they haven't got a big enough squad to go Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, Tuesday, Saturday. They'll as soon as they've played a couple of midweek games, their season will fall apart, because that's what happened to Newcastle last season.
Newcastle last season, yeah. Who this season now look no better than last season. At the minute, it all looks a bit.
I think this is what happens, isn't it? They played that many games last season. It's almost like they never recover. It takes them 12 months to recover. Plus, I mean, again, like I said last week, they're having to sell players because they've overspent, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, the richest owners in the world, richest people in the world own the club, but they can't buy anybody because of the financial fair play. So they've just cocked it all up, really, now, haven't they?
Yeah, it's all just gone a bit tits up.
They'll struggle. They'll not struggle, but they're not getting top 4 or 5, I don't think. I don't think they'll be anywhere near that this season.
Speaking of things going tits up, and I know I've had this rant before, my God, goalkeepers playing out from the back and don't know what they're doing.
Has this week been worse than ever, though?
Stop it.
I mean, how many of them?
Clear the ball, stop the ball going in the net. You are not trying to be Ronaldo. You are not trying to beat the centre forward with the ball at your feet. What are you doing? There's 2 of them this weekend between Pickford.
I mean, it all started this. Have you seen the goalkeeper when they take goal kicks now? They don't kick the ball. The defender kicks the ball to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Who then kicks it long. I'm not sure what we've achieved there. All we've done is move the ball 4 yards across the goal. And then the goalkeeper's got the ball. The least skillful player on the pitch, technically. All right, now they're getting better, I understand. But he is a goalkeeper at the end of the day. So you pass the ball from a footballer to a goalkeeper and let him play with it. Why doesn't he pass it to the fucking defender? If you're going to do that.
Why do we not do neither and get the ball away from your own goal? Because you can't score.
With it, Pickford, he were up there. He nearly won an award this week for that. That were just horrendous.
I don't get Pickford. Pickford at Everton and Pickford at England are 2 different people. I'm convinced of it. Because Pickford at Everton is shit.
Yeah, but Pickford for Everton is playing in a team that aren't great against a lot of good sides. England tend to play 90% of the time against just some crap teams, don't they? I mean, when we come up against European sides, bigger sides, but when we qualify, I mean, 9 games out of 10, we're playing nobodies, aren't we? Whereas Everton are playing probably 16, 17 teams better than them at the minute. So, but there's no excuse for what he does. I mean, what is he doing? I mean, how far's Son away from him? He must be 15 yards away from him when he starts running. It's not like he's immediately under pressure. He just can't play football, obviously.
But I don't get this whole obsession with top level football that your goalkeeper's got to start the play. It's like they don't know how to start an attack unless the goalkeeper's had the ball at his feet. Stop it, because you're conceding more goals than you're making. Just don't do it.
Definitely, yeah. Well, Ipswich do it. Ipswich did it, didn't they? With their keeper.
Gifted the Man City.
I mean, it's like Man United bought Onana so that we can play front back, and the only thing we can't do is play front back. So what point buying Onana? I just kept De Gea.
It's ridiculous.
Because at least De Gea were a better goalkeeper. You know, he don't play out front back, Onana. He just, I mean, every time he tried it over day, he just kept passing it to Brighton.
I mean, I know I'm probably looking at this in an old school way, but if I'm buying a goalkeeper, the first thing I'm looking at is he a good goalkeeper? Not, is he a good footballer?
Stop the ball going in the net? Yeah. Because you've got footballers around him. All he's got to be able to do is get the ball. I mean, for me, just get the ball as far up the pitch as you can.
Yeah.
It still works to this day. If you've got the goal, I mean, all you used to do is get the goalkeeper to loft it up as far as you can, and you know where he's going to kick it to, so you would congregate more of your people in that area of the pitch, so you've got a chance of winning the ball. But at least it's 70 yards from your goal, then, not 7 yards from your goal, passing it to their striker. I mean, I'd love to see how many goals have actually been scored by a goalkeeper starting playoff.
Compared
from yeah, I bet it's nowhere near as good as people think it is.
No, and all we're doing is you just end up.
I can't think of many times where you think, "Oh, it's all." I mean, that's been odd one. I mean, but the one the other day that were a goal, he just launched it full length of the pitch anyway. He didn't play out front back. He chinned it off at top, and they went on and scored. So I mean, that's not real playing out front back, is it? That's just playing it the way we should play it.
No, usually when a goalkeeper's involved in a goal, like say it's a long ball, or he sprayed it wide, or it's a quick counter attack that he's thrown it out or something. This whole obsession with we've got the ball, so the goalkeeper
the ball down, keeper with his foot on the ball.
He's got to go to every one of the back four before it can go to the midfield, and then before it can go up to the strikers, all the back middle fours got to touch it. It's just infuriatingly stupid.
But again, we came to this last week. This is the influence of Pep, isn't it? This is the Pep. Now we're all competing. We're not competing with Man City. Everyone's competing with Pep because they all want to be Pep.
But
they want to play perfect football. But it's all right for City. They've bought the best talent in Europe. When you go through their squad, it's ridiculous. When you're Bournemouth,
or
you've got the best talent in Europe, or Ipswich, or Everton. You've just got riff-raff, haven't you? To be fair,
it's just infuriating, this continuation of
Pickford, the Ipswich goalkeeper. There's another one. Somebody else tried it as well, and he got away with it.
It's happening in nearly every game. You've seen it every game.
Yeah. Oh, Man United, Man United game. Every time we watch an Arnie, you're thinking we're just one kick here away from conceding direct from a goal kick.
Yeah, because it's just stupid, utterly mind-blowingly stupid as a concept, in my opinion. It's just causing more problems than it's actually solving for anybody.
Yeah, unless you sit here, I think they'll stick to it because they're winning, aren't they? It's all right for them.
Absolutely.
They don't concede many goals. They score a goal.
It will work for certain teams, but every team doing it, it's the wrong thing. It's like you're all now playing the same way. Instead of playing to what you think your strengths are as a club, you're playing to what everybody believes is the right way to play football.
People want to play the ball out to Harry Maguire. But Harry Maguire's not good at receiving the ball and turning them. He's not Ruben Diaz. He's not got that skill set. Yes, sometimes he can stride out with the ball when he's coming out of defence and he's once or twice played some nice passes forward. But he's a big, strong defender. If you're going to do that, you might as well just send Harry Maguire up front and kick ball up to him. At least that chance, he's playing to his strength. Every time there's a goal kick, tell Harry Maguire to go and stand on their centre half and kick it up to him. At least we might win a header. Or we might play to his strengths. Playing the ball out to him, his back facing his own goal, he just shits himself and passes it somewhere else. It's stupid. And there's loads of them. I mean, you look at some at centre halves in the league, they're still not ball playing centre halves, most of them, and they're all trying to be.
I said I wouldn't want my centre half to be a ball player. I'd want my centre half to be a centre half, and your job is if I was scouting a centre half, and I saw that they could stop the other team scoring, I would go, that's what I need, because that's their job. And not, can they play out front back, or can they make a 30-yard marauding run up into central midfield? Because I don't need my defenders to do that. In my opinion, you don't anyway, but I'm looking at football from a very old lens, I think.
It's the way they're going, though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone's going the same way. So, I mean, they're sort of building the Spanish way, aren't they? Small players who all want to play with the football.
Oh, yeah. But
I've
speaking
just
of
seen a rather concerning news story that we might be swapping Jadon Sancho for Raheem Sterling. Fuck's sake. It's not even April Fool's, is it?
what the thing is, though, in that transfer, what's the point? You're swapping one more on for another. You're not gaining anything.
I mean, Scott McTominay is on his way to Napoli. But yeah, there's a story just coming out, or not just coming out, but it's coming out today, this weekend, that they're talking of a swap deal. Yeah, that's really concerning.
Why do Chelsea have to be involved in every transfer this window? Literally every one of them involved Chelsea in some way.
Chelsea to offer Man United 2 players to hijack Sancho's move to Juventus. Oh, the Chelsea can offer us. Fucking hell. At least it could be a wide choice of people. Yeah, one of them is supposedly Sterling, yeah. Oh no, that don't want to be happening. He needs to go to Juventus him on a permanent deal. Get out.
Yeah, they can have him out. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea for everybody. Speaking of the way football is going, though, the Bournemouth Newcastle game, the handball.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, according to the rules, as I was told the rules are, if it hits you on your shirt sleeve, it's not handball. The arms did it not start below the badge? Handball.
Nah, that
Is
went
not the rule. Are we sure?
No, I'm not sure about anything in the handball rule.
I thought that they'd said, but maybe it's been changed for this year, that the handball had to be below your shirt sleeve. That was where they're classing the arm to start, even though it starts at your shoulder.
You've got a problem with that, though. I wear long sleeves.
Well, this is what I said at the time when it first came out. It's a stupid rule because it depends on how long your sleeves are. If you've got them tight fitted tops that, like Amad Diallo, not Amad Diallo, Amad Traore, Adama Traore who wears a t-shirt about this high up with his arms out, then he's going to be handball all the time. But I didn't think that. I thought under the rules that wasn't handball.
Now you see,
Obviously,
for me,
I'm going to guess that.
Under the rules, it's a stonewall handball because it hits him on the arm and goes straight in the net. So it can't be a goal. It just can't be. It has to be a handball all day long.
I mean, I'm not having it, but
it just is. If you put the ball in with your arm, it can't be a goal, surely.
But you didn't put the ball in with his arm; it went in off his arm.
That's just saying the same thing in a different way.
So yeah, but we're saying just a deflection off your arm is handball.
Yes, because that's the last touch that puts the ball in the net.
Yeah, I'm not having that. That's not handball to me. It's handball if you use your hand to put it in the net.
But he did.
The ball comes at you and hits you on the arm. He didn't go in with his arm and shove it in, did he? He went for an header and it hit him on shoulder, arm area. T-shirt, as we're calling it. I need to find that rule.
But the thing is, though, you've got to say that if it doesn't hit him on the arm, it's not a goal. Because it doesn't go in. So he's used his arm to put the ball in the net.
I don't know. I'm not having it. I'm giving the goal if I'm referee. I suppose that's the whole farce of VAR now, isn't it? Because we're just down to opinions again, aren't we?
Well, the referee did give a goal, I think, and VAR said no, it's handball. I think referee actually did give a goal. To be fair.
And does it not come off the defender and it goes into him as well?
Hard to see from the camera angle, but it looks like it just hits him sort of flush, sort of somewhere near the sleeve, and goes in. So for me, I think it is. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm giving it.
No, I'm not giving that as a goal. Sorry. I just can't.
There we are. IFAB permits contact with the top of the arm, dubbed the sleeve rule, which gives players some leeway while using their shoulder. This means a ball touches the upper portion of a player's arm will not be considered a handball and leaves only blatant handball fouls to be punished. That's not fucking blatant at all.
Well, it blatantly hits his arm.
It's the bit that's cleared to be allowed to be it.
You can't have. I don't see how any part. I don't get the sleeve rule. I don't get the concept of it.
I'm not saying I agree with the rule. I'm just saying the rule's there, isn't it? So the
All
rule's
I'm
got to
going to
be
do now
adhered
is
to.
I'm going to pull my sleeves
Just
right
wear
down here like
longest sleeves in the world. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Rashford wears actual long sleeve Man United tops. So I mean, I don't know where the line starts and stops on that. But there was a rule anyway. They've decided to ignore it by the sounds of it.
That's what we're doing.
So I'm giving it, and you're not giving it.
No.
You're just stingy, aren't you?
But again, like you said, we're ending up with decisions that nobody actually knows the true answer to.
Well, yeah, I mean, nobody knows rules around ball. I mean, we take mick out women for not knowing offside, and men don't even know rules around ball.
I don't know rule offside either these days. In fact, neither does Xerxes.
Oh, fucking hell, let's start with. So, else were crap. Everton were crap. Everton were bad crap as well. I mean, they might not score a goal this season. Palace were bad, yeah. They were, yeah. And the Palace had looked all right in the first game of the season, but yeah, Palace were bad. Everton were bad.
Southampton were Southampton were bad.
Yeah, Southampton are bad, aren't they, though? Definitely. Who else were bad? Brentford were bang. I don't think Brentford are bad. I just think Liverpool were very good.
Brentford were bad for one reason, and one reason only. They were playing in a pink kit.
I did see the pink kit, yeah. It's not quite as bad as I thought, but it is still pink. Very
Not
pink. Palace, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Did you see that Blackpool sacked the manager after 2 games?
No. 2 games. That's Tim Preston did that.
So Neil Critchley got sacked from Blackpool after the second game of the season last weekend. So they sacked him Monday morning.
Nice.
I mean, what's the mentality behind that? Yeah, there's been somebody else do it as well, hasn't there? I mean, you've gone through pre-season, he's signed the players he wants, released the players he doesn't want, and after 2 games, I mean, even if he got battered 5-0 in both games, why would you sack him now?
It's the mentality of football these days. We've got no patience for anything. We've got no time to let managers build anything or try and get anything sorted. It's this instant we must win every game straight off the bat every time without ever thinking this project.
In any football team, barring probably Chelsea recently, most of the teams that have been successful have stuck with the manager.
Yes.
You look at Arsenal. Arteta was crap when he first came in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say Arteta was crap. Arsenal were crap under Arteta when he first came in. But he was playing with the previous guy's players. So they're going to be. You look at the players he plays now, right? There's still quite a few of them there, but a lot of them he's brought in himself.
Mm-hmm. And he's
now starting to build his own squad.
Yeah.
You look at when he's bringing subs on, he's bringing on players that he's bought. He's bought them for a specific reason to change a game or do something in a game. You can't sack a man. I mean, like I said, Chelsea are the caveat to that, but they were able just to spend as much money as they wanted, weren't they? So they were literally just buying the world's talent to win the league. You can't just keep swapping your manager; it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely not. You've got
to go with a manager. You've got to give him a contract. You've got to stick with him and see it out. And chances are that it will come good in the end for you. Sacking these man, I mean, 2 games is just pathetic. I mean, I don't know who the Blackpool owner is, but he's an idiot. So that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is utterly stupid.
And the other one I saw at the weekend, Chelsea have got no shirt sponsor.
No, they don't.
I mean, for a club that's possibly going to fail financial fair play and is trying to get money into the club, surely that's a massive gaffe to not have a shirt sponsor.
Did they even have one last season? Because it all fell out from, didn't they? They had Gazprom. No, not Gazprom. They had some Russian company, didn't they? Obviously, when they went into Ukraine, and then it all fell apart with 3.
Well, see, I can only remember last time I can remember. I would say they had 3 last time I can remember they having a sponsorship.
And but something went funny with that deal. And yeah, they now just don't have one. But they've said they'll get one.
Not one at all.
No.
Oh, so they are like, I just thought it was. I mean, Barcelona never used to have one, did they? Because they were like higher than the Almighty. They thought they were doing the world a favour by not having a shirt sponsor, and now they do. But I only noticed it yesterday. Their kit is really nice, by the way. Their own kit. Yeah. I really like it. It's like one of the best kits I've seen in a long time. But it just dawned on me that they didn't have a shirt sponsor.
No, they've just not got one. They said they're still looking for one and they'll announce one in due course, but right now they just don't have one.
I mean, you're not telling me that Todd Bowley doesn't know somebody will put 50 million into club for a shirt sponsorship for 3 years or 2 years or whatever they pay these days.
Well, there's
And he
plenty of
knows
money.
he must know millions and millions of billionaires and millionaires, and you know, you've got to know somebody. Can't be. I mean, again, with like 3 weeks into the season nearly now, and they've not got a shirt sponsor,
Yeah, it's pretty.
unless they're doing it on purpose to be able to juggle money around at a later date, so it goes into certain
Yeah,
years' books and not another year's books, maybe. So that if they know they've passed financial fair play, the last check, that they wait for the money to come in, so they pass this check.
possibly so.
There's got to be some reason, hasn't there? I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no way he doesn't know somebody will sponsor that shirt.
It's very, very weird.
It is.
It-
No,
it-
and like I said, it only dawned on me yesterday when I saw that they got no sponsor on there.
No, they don't. But as I said, they'll get one as and when. Apparently, it's not high on their priorities right now. Their priority list is signing more players because they don't quite have enough.
They're not. I mean, they've let only let two go, haven't they? Lukaku and
Gallagher.
Gallagher, but they brought one in.
Yeah. So we're down to 48 now
So
instead of 49.
they're still in the 40s, aren't they?
Oh, well into the 40s. Absolutely.
Aren't they? So yesterday, Formula One returned.
It did. And what a return it was.
It was quite a race, wasn't it? As well, it was. Yeah, I mean, the worst thing about yesterday's race was it was on the same time as possibly the best game of football I've watched in a long time, as Wolves Chelsea. So I was trying to watch both, but it wasn't like usually you either get a shit race, so you can think, oh, turn the race off and just watch highlights later. But the race was brilliant, and the football was brilliant, and it was like just when you need two TVs, you haven't got them to try and watch both on.
Well, for us in England, wasn't that of an issue because we had Bournemouth Newcastle as the football, and that was crap. So I ignored the
Yet you
football.
guys can't watch the same games, can you? It's mad, that, isn't it? I mean, it really does. I mean, I pay $160, I think I paid, and I can watch every Premier League game
Is that for the year or for a month?
for the year.
Wow.
$169.99, I think I paid. I think it should have been $220, and I got money off. I got it for about 170. So that's working out about 90 quid, 85 quid, 90 quid, yeah. And I can watch 10 Premier League games a weekend and full reruns, etc. I can watch them all week. So I can get up the next morning and watch all the football.
And I
You
got stuck
guys
with
still have to pick from. Do you still get 4 games a weekend then?
So we had one on Saturday, which was on BT, TNT, Saturday morning. Then there were tea time game on Sky, and then there were 2 yesterday. So yeah, we get 4 across 2
4
networks.
games a weekend, isn't it?
Yeah. But you're 12,000 miles away, can get all of them.
We get to watch them all. It is a bit stupid, that, to be fair. It's a lot stupid. You think about modern day now, I mean, let's be honest, most people are watching them anyway, aren't they? One way or another. But you just think they just monetize it now and just let everyone watch it however they want. It's it's a big enough sport, isn't it now?
If they look at the Netflix model, football should make a streaming channel. So English football, regardless of the level, so have one big streaming service where there's Premiership, Championship, League One, League Two. I wouldn't go lower than that because that's your proper EFL tier. Put all the games on that so people can watch whatever they want. Make it £200, £300 a year, fine, and say you can
subscribe to
watch
whichever.
Yeah,
you can. You should,
just put
and it should be let it be owned by the Premier League, so the money goes back into football. So it's not going to Mr. Sky and it's not going to somebody else. Let it go back into football, and whatever's generated by each league goes back into that league to, help fund the league and keep the league going. So there's more money in them leagues to keep the teams going.
Yeah, and a
Cut
portion
fans,
of it
ticket prices,
and a portion of it can go into your grassroots and building up your next generation of players instead of just trying to build up Sky because they don't need to be built up anymore.
That's all they do. Yeah, Sky. I mean, all Sky do now is lace the pockets of the already rich, don't they? Because they pay all the FA and the football clubs, and all that money does is go into some guy's pocket who didn't need it, and the fans just keep paying more and more and more money for tickets.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, we've got very sidetracked off F1.
Digress. Yeah. So, I mean, Lando did Lando at the start, didn't he? It's a good job he's got a good car.
I wrote about it yesterday, and it's becoming. I'm now torn of is it a Lando thing or is it a car thing? Because the same thing happened to Oscar as well yesterday. They both just bogged down for the start and basically didn't move. So I don't know.
Piastri has made better starts than this season, hasn't he? I mean, how many times has Piastri jumped Lando at the start? I don't think Lando's ever done it to him, has he?
No, and it is more of a Lando issue, but I'm wondering if there's something inherent in the car that Lando's not liking to get it off the line. Oscar's got on top of it, but
I mean, I'm far from a technician, but you would think that it can't be something that hard, can it?
It massively is the clutch back. So because it's a double clutch car, so you're pulling one clutch fully, and your other clutch is set to a point of where the best bite point is. And if you get that slightly wrong, you'll get too many revs and not enough revs. You'll either wheel spin or you'll bog down.
I mean, it sounded like he didn't get enough rev because they said he'd wheel spun, but when he went on board, it sounded like he'd just got no pickup at all. Like it started in like third gear. He were a dog.
Yeah, it would have been good to hear, but unfortunately, Crofty decided to talk over every part of the bit that when I was trying to listen to what was going on with the revs, he decided to speak over it all, which is brilliant. Yeah. It helped.
We do get Sky commentators here. It is Sky coverage that we use over here. It's on Fox, but it is Sky coverage, which is good because the one thing you don't want is an Australian guy commenting on Formula One because it's just not their specialty. Although they were saying the other day there's going to be 5 Australians and New Zealanders in the sport next year.
Yes. Well, it depends on
the big word. But...
Yeah, he did use the word that I didn't understand.
He used a big word, and I thought I'd best not use that again because I'll probably get cancelled. So could get that totally wrong.
Not sure what it means.
Only episode 4. We don't want to get took off internet already.
But yeah,
so I'll stick to mine.
As a week of predictions so far, I've not done very well. I wrote that Zandvoort is a bad track. It's not fit for Formula One. It's too narrow. It doesn't work. And
you did say McLaren would win.
I did. I did actually get that one right.
You did say last week that McLaren would win because it was going to suit them, and you did get that right. I mean, they both did the best to not get that right. They both tried to not win. They both literally did try not to win, didn't they? I mean, it was like, how have they gone from possibly being a 1-2 to this could be 3-4?
Yeah, But then Lando just that car is now, I think, fundamentally just a better all-round car than the Red Bull. The Red Bull's outright faster, but it isn't a better car.
Well, I was going to say to you what's going to happen at Italy this week because the Red Bull's monster in a straight line, isn't it? Still.
Yes.
And that is a very straight line, heavy track. But the corners there's quite a few. I mean, there's the chicane at the first bit. There's 2 or 3 slow corners, isn't there, as well, which McLaren are awesome at.
And they've changed turn 1 and 2 actually at Monza this year, so it would probably help Red Bull because they were quite tight as a chicane. You did have to ride the curbs, which they're not very good at. You get away with it now a little bit because they've widened turn 1 and 2. I do think Red Bull will be the more prominent team this week.
But is that gap that we've just seen this weekend not too big?
It depends because you're looking at a completely different layout, so it's hard. You can't really compare the two because you're looking at more Zandvoort's more Hungary, but then Silverstone, Red Bull were bad. Silverstone's, I know it's a completely different layout to Monza, but it's a high speed circuit.
A quick track, yeah.
Monza is.
I suppose the way Red Bull has struggled there is that it's a lot of high speed turning at Silverstone. There's a lot of sweeping corners and things where they didn't like it. It'd be interesting to see. I think they're on the ropes at the minute, Red Bull. And the thing they've got lucky with is what over the last 7 races, where they've not been winning them all, somebody has nearly won. It's been a different winner nearly every time.
Yeah, that's what.
Lando won 5 of the last 7. This is a whole nother conversation now. But they've had Russell, Hamilton,
twice,
Piastri, Lando. We didn't win any of them, did they? Actually, only one in Miami. So
yeah,
they've had other people winning when they haven't won, rather than a consistent. If McLaren, if Red Bull don't win, you would think McLaren are pretty much going to be there now to the end of the season, picking up wins. Absolutely. But they might have just got lucky enough over the last 5 or 6 weeks to have built a big enough gap and come away.
Max is safe unless he has a DNF. I think Lando will keep.
That's what we need, don't we?
He'll keep eating into that lead, but he's missed too many opportunities in places like Spain.
Max has still got some penalties to come, hasn't he? Because he's used all his engines now.
he should be all right now because he took his engine penalty in Spa, so the chances are he won't need another one unless something actually breaks.
I don't understand that. Why did he take an engine penalty? Did he take it in Spa on purpose then because of the track?
Yes.
That's what I couldn't understand, because I thought if he took his penalty there, he's not getting to the end of the season with that allocation if he's not got enough now. But obviously, they're just putting one in the pool and picking away. See, that's a dodgy rule as well, isn't it? That? I mean, I'm not saying it because it's max, but to be allowed to put things in when you don't need it, you're sort of taking your penalty where it suits you. That's not really a penalty, is it?
No, that's the thing. So they've got 3 to 4 engine components, depending which part of the engine it is. And they all Red Bull do every season when they get to Spa is, we know we're going to need new ones at some point. We know we can always overtake here and we always come back well. So we'll put them all into pool now, and then we're fine for end of season. They have improved the rules slightly because originally you could take as many parts as you want. So McLaren at Monza, I think it was, back when they had the Honda engine, they got a grand total of about 190 grid place penalty because they took.
Yeah, it happened to me the other day. We got 35 place grid penalty. I mean, that stuff like that. I think it's just stupid, isn't it? I mean, how can you get more? If you get 35, it's got to carry over to the next race.
Well, they should stop giving a number. They should just say you will start at the back. Stop putting a number on it because it's ridiculous. Because it'd be stupid.
Or if you give them 35, then it's 17 this race and it's 18 next race because you've used 35 and that's it.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, they've got to make the penalty pointful, haven't they? So 35, you might as well not have said 35, had you? Because you're not penalising him by 35.
And what doing it your way would actually do is it'd stop people just going out in Q1, just puttling about and then going to pit lane, because you've got to try and use as many of your grid players.
Allocate your 35 penalty points, haven't you?
Yeah. So you think, right, if I get 5th, I've used 15 of them, or if I get 1st, I've used 19 of them. So I'm
better next week then.
So we've either got to stop using numbers or make the numbers mean something.
It's not, like I say, it's not a penalty, is it? It's just a.
No,
it is, but it isn't. It's not a penalty.
I think Merck will be disappointed from yesterday massively. That car just looked.
I mean, why did they pit both of them? I don't.
The rationale was sound, but the car wasn't quick enough to pull it off. But the idea was that Perez and Max were both struggling on tyres. That was quite obvious. And they thought that if we box, we can come out and we'll either force them into another pit stop or the tyres will fall off the cliff and we'll pass them on track. The car just wasn't good enough. I mean, Russell got to 3rd at start at Grand Prix, but he would never on pace.
Well, Russell saved Max's 2nd place, didn't he, by holding Piastri?
Oh, absolutely,
so,
yeah.
15 laps, 20 laps.
If Russell doesn't pass Piastri at the start, that's a McLaren 1-2 all day, I think. Yeah. Because the pincer move him and they just get him out of the way. But Russell just gets in the way. He's not doing anything wrong, but he just gets in the way of everybody else behind him, then falls away dramatically. The car's not quick enough. Yeah. The tyres don't hold on because they pushed too early when they came out of the pit lane. So in the end, it's 7th and 8th, which probably should have been 6th and 7th, maybe. They probably should have beaten Perez.
No point in the weekend were they behind Ferrari, were they?
I think on the long run pace on Friday, Ferrari did look a little bit better than Mercedes, but then them two teams for the next 9 races are just going to flip flop between each other. There'll be weekends when Mercedes are better. There'll be weekends when Ferrari are better. You've got your front two that are just going to do the same. And then you've got.
We need. Mercedes. The only thing you can hope now is that Piastri can be faster than Max and take points off Max, so that Lando can bridge a gap in some of the races. Because what is it, 8 points from 1st to 2nd? Or is it 5?
8. Yeah.
So 8 plus a fastest lap, he could possibly get 9.
No, apologies. It's 25 to 18.
Yeah, 18. That's right. Yeah, so it's 7 plus a point at 8. He needs Piastri to take that extra 2 or 3 points off him a couple of times, and potentially then make that gap a little bit smaller. But yeah, we need a Max DNF. We could do a massive engine blow up in Italy this weekend. That'd just about be perfect.
But I think constructors wise, that's on. That fight is now well and truly like Perez has improved a little bit. I'd say this weekend it was not as bad as some of them, but he just did his usual. He stepped off all right, and he just flowed.
Do you think McLaren will live to regret not letting Lando win at Hungary?
No, he'll never get that close, in my opinion.
You don't think he will?
No, not this season. It's too far back now.
Not even with that car and how fast he is. Do you not see him? Do you not see McLaren pretty much winning every race now?
No, I just think McLaren's still got this small team underdog mentality a little bit, which is concerning if I'm looking at them as a proper challenger. So
Did you see the question to Lando yesterday?
That's what I'm about to say. So after 10 laps, they're asking Lando, well, who are we racing? Well, who do you think you're racing? The guy in front of you, usually. It would be the obvious answer. Why are you asking the driver that? It's just it's just worrying a little bit that I think they're still not.
How many points did Lando lose in Hungary? 7 then, by having to let him pass.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to matter because Silverstone they should have won, they didn't. Imola they should have won, they didn't. Spain they should have won, they didn't. China could have done better.
So much closer, shouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, it should really now be what 35, 40 points.
Possibly, yeah, if not less. I mean, you've got to think Silverstone. If it doesn't rain, Max probably finishes 7th because he was going backwards fast. He was falling down the order when it was still dry, and McLaren might have won that then in the dry. Imola would have been another big swing because Lando
had
errors.
Austria had him up line and sinker, didn't he?
Austria, yeah, that's a massive swing.
Lando had Max sat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, realistically, if you're not racing Max, you don't have the problem. But if you're racing Max, you just bide your time until you're just that much quicker to drive straight past him, like he did yesterday, really.
Yeah.
He sort of, played to his advantage, and waited until they're that quick that Max couldn't do anything.
In Austria, they should have been a 7-point swing to Lando, and it was actually a 12-point swing to Max in the end because Lando DNF and Max came.
That's what they said. Every week here, Max has had a bad weekend, but every week he's been pulling his gap out because somebody else is winning.
I mean, the gap is now 71, I think, off the top of things. I think it was 78 before this weekend, but I might be out by a couple of points, but it's there or thereabouts.
He got fastest lap, didn't he, on last lap?
Yes. So at 9 races, we're talking minimum 8 points a race. So he's literally, Lando's got to win every race with fastest lap if Max comes second. And that's the problem Lando's now got. Max can drive for second. He won't because he's not that type of driver. But Max can drive.
Back to the Hamilton scenario again, isn't it? Where he can drive like it's 70 points, 70 points to Lando, exactly. He can drive like an idiot, can't he? Because Lando can't afford to have an accident. Lando can't afford to have Austria happen. Whereas Max can afford Austria to happen every weekend and still pick the title. And that's what he did with Hamilton, didn't he?
Yeah.
He drove like a total cock because he knew he could afford not to finish. Yeah,
and that Lando's now left himself too open to. Lando's now got to be on the limit every weekend, pushing. Whereas Max can just, I'll just take second. It don't matter. It's by the by for him. So I do think.
So we got Italy this weekend, haven't we?
Yeah. Then we have a 2-week break, and then we go to Baku and Singapore. But I can't remember which way around it is. I think it's Baku and Singapore.
So where are we? Right. So Italy this weekend, Azerbaijan and Singapore.
Yeah, and then we have a 4-week break.
And then we've got another break. Just getting back into it again. It's off.
The autumn break for I don't know, but it's not a shutdown this one, so teams can still develop and be working on. Well, by then they'll probably be working on the 2025 car. But I can't see 2024 developments happening much more now. To be honest,
there'll be six races left, then, won't there?
Yeah, there's not really any gain to be had at this point. I think Merck and Ferrari.
These are the big three then now, aren't they? It's down to these 3 races. If something can happen where he can make a big inroads, he needs a 20+ point weekend at some point, doesn't he? In next 3.
Yeah, the only way this becomes a title battle now is if Max DNFs. He has to not finish a race, and then you have a chance.
And it does have implications for next season, doesn't it? Because if by this next break he is within fighting distance, Red Bull can't just give up on this car, can they?
No, they would have to.
They would have to do something to try and salvage the season.
I don't think Red Bull can do anything else to this car. They've hit the limit of it. Well, their design was as amazing as it is. It's found its limit, and I can't see them. It would be narrow.
They could spend a bit more than budget because that doesn't really affect them, does it? They can just do what they want. Just going to spend an extra 10 million. As Crystal Honest, it's only 10 million. What I mean, it don't make no difference, did it?
We're only on sandwiches. It's fine.
Yeah, we weren't on developing car. Coincidentally, they did win, having spent more money than everyone else. But I mean, that's just a technicality, man, isn't it?
Oh, but speaking of spending silly money on Formula One, Rwanda.
Yeah, I had to sort of rewind this and listen to it again because I wasn't sure that I'd heard it right. I'm pretty certain Rwanda's got no money.
I want to try and approach it a little bit delicately because I don't want to sound like I'm being a complete dick permanently, but you've got a country of 14 million people but over half of it live in abject poverty. Statistically, they're
my
earning
belief.
$7 a month to live on. Hosting a Formula One race costs $100 million a year minimum. You've got to build a track. You've got to build, stadium and infrastructure and hotels.
Not just for them though. But that's what I'm saying. They don't. It's not just the building the track. They don't have hotels that are up to standard. You can't. You're not going to have billionaires flying in that own Ferrari to stay in the sort of hotels that are going to be around in Rwanda at the minute. There's got no roads. The public service. They've got no buses or transport or trains. Unless F1's going to pay for all that to be built, then who's got the money?
The locals have got no money. Now, a Formula One event should be taken to the locals so the locals can enjoy the sport. You can go to Melbourne if you drive for 700 hours to get there.
When we say locals, a 37-hour drive, it'd be easier for me to get to Rwanda.
But if a ticket is going to be £400 or £500, let's say, for a weekend, like it is over here, a normal person living in Rwanda doesn't have that. That's nearly
that's more than a year's money
for some people. What is the principle of taking a Formula One race to a country that isn't set up for it? And the chances are it'll collapse within 3 years if they don't do it properly, like the Indian Grand Prix did. Like we've had other Grand Prix in the past. Vietnam collapsed before it took off because that was corrupt as anything you've ever seen, because the guy were taking backhanders from everybody in the Southeast Asia. So
this is what this sounds like. This just stinks of backhanders, doesn't it?
And we seem to want Formula One to go to Africa to make it a Formula One World Championship. And I get the concept, but don't take it there just based on a principle of wanting it there.
Detriment of the people as well.
Take it there because it's right to take it there, and it's got a sustained future, and it can build something, and it can help the locals, and you can improve their way of life because you have F1 there. Don't take it there because you feel quote Lewis Hamilton wants to drive in Africa. No, make it so it's done properly.
Yeah, I mean, who are they going to employ to do the? Who are they going to employ to do the works? I mean, they're going to employ local labour? I doubt they are they? Because I can't imagine there's the skill set required in these villages to carry out the works they need.
No, so then again, you're not
going to fly people in. Yeah. So that's just the kicking the nuts of everyone who lives there by saying, well, we need works doing, but you can't do it. So we're going to fly in a load of, people from other countries to build stuff in your country. So they're going to get no benefit from it.
No, and it will just cost them a fortune. I mean, $100 million to a country like that it's a mind-blowing amount of money that they could probably spend.
Where's the money coming from?
I don't. If most tracks are government funded, except for Silverstone, which doesn't really get any government funding. It does it self-sustained. Most races in foreign countries are funded by the government. How is Rwanda going to find $100 million to host a Formula One race?
Very nice. And if he's got $100 million, why didn't he spend it on infrastructure to make the country better?
Exactly, and this is why I just think it's a bad idea.
It sounds. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I mean, I know they've been talking about going to Africa, and I just presumed that it would go somewhere like South Africa because there's already some infrastructure in place there, or possibly a more developed area of the country. But I mean, yeah, like I said, I had to re-listen to it when they said Rwanda. I was like, I don't know anything about Rwanda, but what bits I've seen, it's not a place that can sustain a Formula One race or would even want to think about sustaining. They've got bigger problems than worrying about whether there's a Formula One race there.
Exactly. It's mind-blowingly stupid, in my opinion. Utterly ridiculous, but I won't rant about that anymore because I don't want to get cancelled for sounding like I'm just being an idiot.
What happened to Sargeant this weekend? I didn't watch much of the Saturday.
Sargeant had a lack of talent, is what happened to Logan Sargeant.
Did he crash?
Yes, massively.
Well, I've not seen the crash. And I watched qualifying just before I watched the race because I wasn't available Saturday. And then I read a news story about Logan Sargeant. In my head, I was thinking, Logan Sargeant, F2. Oh, he's in trouble. And then I thought, hold on a minute, he was in F1. I didn't see him crash. He finished the race, or raced in the race. So, was it a bad... Oh,
yeah. So he comes out of
it's a bad one.
Turn 3, 4, the hairpin, goes up the hill, too far, onto the grass, bins it left, and writes off all of his car and it bursts into flames.
I just seen the headline. Williams driver Logan Sargeant walks away from fiery F1 crash.
Oh yeah, it bursts into flames when he gets out of it. He destroyed the whole lot.
Oh.
It didn't make qualifying because he destroyed it that
So
badly.
what was it? What was that in then? Practice 3?
Yeah, FP3. You just come totally right. It's a horrendous.
I'll have to watch this.
I mean, the new rumor is now he's about to be replaced.
Well, this is what I saw, and I couldn't understand why he was getting replaced. I mean, I know he's not particularly talented when it comes to an F1 driver. So they're pulling the trees up, but I didn't. Obviously, I'd not seen the crash. So, and then Toto Wolff had weighed in, and Christian Horner had weighed in, and I don't know, the people weighing in. There's something that's not to do with him.
Weighing on everything. They've always got an opinion.
Oh, because they think they're bigger. They're the heads of the sport, aren't they? And he owns part of Merck, and he owns part of Red Bull, and they've got an opinion on everything. They don't want to shut up and get on with it. I mean, if you're Mercedes at the minute, last thing you need to do is worry about any other team. Get your own car sorted first, don't you?
But yeah, I mean,
so I'd not seen that. That's actually breaking news to me. I didn't know he'd had a crash. I thought he was getting sacked just for being generally rubbish, not the fact that he'd set fire to his car.
They're on about now bringing in Mick Schumacher. And I've ranted quite frequently on this podcast today, but I'm going to do it again. That man is a surname merchant. He is not a talented Formula 1 driver. He's living off the name of his dad, who was fucking brilliant. You're shit. Go and do something else. You're not good enough to be a Formula 1 car. You wrote off that.
I mean, who's he affiliated to, and why does he keep getting put back into these? Getting brought back into contention? Is he at Mercedes at the minute? Is that why Toto Wolff stuck his nose in?
He's affiliated to it. Yes, he's with Mercedes, but he's affiliated to his dad. And that is all it is. There is nothing else there why he's anywhere near Formula 1. He's a PR level driver because, it's a Schumacher name back in Formula 1. Yes, you might have the Schumacher name, but you don't have the Schumacher talent. You're crap.
Yeah, I've just seen Logan Sargeant's crash. Oh.
Yeah, it's bad, and it's all his own fault. But they're replacing Logan Sargeant for a guy that, in my opinion, isn't going to be that much better. He'll be a step up.
It's a good one. Oh, Jesus. Williams, who struggled to keep at one point struggled to actually put 2 cars together to put them on a track.
Yes.
At the start of the season. And there's not many bits of it straight when he's finished with that one, is there?
No, he's done a good job of it. I'll give him that. He's damaged it well. I mean, 3 wheels are damaged. Rear wing.
There's a panel there that's not bent. I wonder if he bent that one when he got out. That's totaled, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
good lad.
Job.
Oh, he's done well. I had not seen that. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, he's done a pretty damn good job.
I thought he'd have a crashing race. Nobody had a crash, no safety cars, no yellow flags or anything. It would, everyone stayed on track and behaved themselves. I couldn't figure it out. And there we go. That's why. Good old Logan. And why are Haas currently marooned in Holland?
Oh,
do they not own their own cars?
It's an administration error. So when Uralkali were the sponsor to do with the Russian dude, Mazepin.
Yeah, he fetched him in, didn't he? Mazepin. Always spins.
They've just not paid them.
They haven't paid him.
No, so they haven't paid them the money for the sponsor that they owed them some money to do with the sponsorship deal. They just didn't pay them.
I mean, can I just point something out here? The sponsorship deal is meant to be that they pay Haas.
But they took them off with the Russia invading Ukraine. They broke the contract with them.
So to get refund them is what they want.
Yeah. So they applied to the Dutch court to say, we want this money or we're seizing assets. So they turned up at the track on Saturday and said, we're taking your Formula 1 cars. And Haas were like, no, you're not. It's just an admin error. Honestly, we paid it. It's just not got to you.
But surely, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but surely the fact that the Russians were no longer allowed to sponsor Formula 1 is not really Haas's problem.
I don't really know the ins and outs of the legalities of it, but all I know is they turned up at the track with
you're going to struggle to sue Haas for something they've had absolutely nothing to do with. I mean, they're an American Formula 1 side. They're not to Russia or Ukraine. How did they end up in this trouble? And why has it only come to light now?
It's been going on for years. It's a long-running court case to do with the fact that I think Haas had said they weren't paying it originally because of what had gone on, but they were allowed to still sponsor Haas. I don't think there was anything legally that said they couldn't, but I don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. So that they just kind of broke the partnership off because they sacked off Mazepin, they sacked off his dad, they sacked off anything to do with Russia. And I think they just basically
Again, it's not Ass's fault that Mazepin were crap. I mean, the guy couldn't even, made Sargeant look like a professional driver. He couldn't even drive it on a track. He thought he were in World Rally Championship, him in a Formula 1 car.
Yeah, then between him and Mick Schumacher, they were two of the worst drivers I think I've seen in a long time. Really, really were bad.
I mean, so they are stuck in Holland then? Is this true, or is this just the propaganda to try and...
Yes, but they were saying it was just an administration error. It'll all be cleared up by, they thought, this morning, but I've not looked this morning to see if it has actually been cleared up. But yes, they were still stranded at the track, not allowed to leave.
It's not like they've got anywhere to be, is it? They've only got to get to Italy. I mean, it's not like travel light, is it?
They've got to get to Italy by Wednesday, Thursday at latest.
Yeah. And there's some serious gear to move. It's not like there's, 2 suitcases and a couple of spare tyres. It's like a couple of dozen trucks got to drive across Europe.
Yes. And clear
through the night, pretty much. I mean, they need to be there in 48 hours, less than 48 hours, about 48 hours, yeah?
Yeah, got about 48 hours and they'd want to be there.
Set up.
Yeah.
And they're still in Holland.
Oh, well, they were as of last night.
That's again interesting. When it said they're stuck in Holland, I was like, "All right, this is not going to get good." I mean, it's not like you've got a 3-week break to sort it out. I mean, they've been off for 4 weeks. Why don't they sort it?
I mean, they're lucky though that we're not doing, I don't know, Holland to Miami in the following week.
Yeah.
That would
like
work.
Formula 1 do.
Yeah,
it's good we're not off to Canada next week because they've just missed the. I mean, it still blows my mind that they move all that stuff from, a base in London or England somewhere to Miami to Canada to Abu Dhabi. The stuff that them guys move is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
That is some sick. I mean, them trailers that they all VIP in and all the management sitting and stuff. I mean, they're just epic things, aren't they? That they move about. They're just on another level of hospitality and. It was set on fire.
No, I think it was.
McLaren's, wasn't it?
McLaren in Spain, I want to say. I think it was in Spain.
Because it said they were going to be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they ended up in the Haas motorhome for that weekend, which is now.
Oh Jesus, that's impounded. McLaren drivers are in it and all. It's not gone well. That's how Max is going to win championship.
Get everybody else impounded.
Is that McLaren drivers impounded? Epic. Well, mate, I think we've covered everything for this week.
We have, yes. We've probably waffled on.
Say, what have we got coming up? So we've got Italian Grand Prix next weekend. We've got Man Utd Liverpool, haven't we?
Yes.
I'd tell you when it is, but if I'm totally honest, I just can't get my head around this time difference thing still. It's a right mess. I think it's Sunday tea time, isn't it?
I mean, for the rest of us, yeah. For you, that's probably Tuesday afternoon or something. But
because
yes,
it's doing it again. So yeah, it's Sunday tea time, yeah.
Yeah, it's the 4 o'clock kickoff. I thought it used to be half 4. We've gone back to 4 o'clock again, which is weird.
11 o'clock kickoff, yeah, then.
And Sunday afternoon is Newcastle Spurs.
Yeah, that's the early game, isn't it?
It is
Brighton.
Indeed.
So who else plays then? Newcastle Spurs, Chelsea Palace, West Ham City, Brighton Arsenal, Brentford Southampton, Everton Bournemouth, Ipswich Fulham, Leicester Villa, Forest Wolves. Nice.
A decent weekend of football.
Yeah, so it all kicks off. Oh, so it's the first game Saturday, so it kicks off Saturday dinner, Arsenal Brighton. So we can be live for Newcastle Spurs.
Yeah, don't see why not.
I'm not sure that anyone's ready to listen to me, Man United Liverpool, just yet. It can be quite we'd need a beep there, James. It's yeah. I'm not sure that anyone's quite ready for that just yet. Maybe later in the season. Yeah, so we'll what, episode 5? We'll do Newcastle Spurs Sunday.
No problem at all, mate.
Fantastic.
We'll let it wrap.
That's a wrap.